Bruin News Now is made possible by the generous support of C Spire, Bank Plus, and these fine sponsors. This week on the show, the St. Joe Band, cheerleaders, and spirit steppers celebrated Mardi Gras. Ash Wednesday Mass marked the start of the season of Lent. And the Bruin sailing team has begun practice. These stories and more coming up. Bruin News Now for Friday, February 28th, 2020 begins right now. From the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is Mississippi's high school news leader, the award-winning student-produced weekly newscast, Bruin News Now. Happy Friday, St. Joe. I'm Jack Clements.
And I'm Emerson Irwin. Welcome to another edition of Bruin News Now. It's been another busy week here on the St. Joe campus with the Black History Month program today, the start of Lent with Ash Wednesday Mass, and the band, cheerleaders, and spirit steppers trip this Sunday to Mardi Gras.
We'll get to Ash Wednesday in a bit, and we'll have a special report from Mardi Gras later in the show. First, let's start with St. Joe's annual student-produced Black History Month program set for 2 p.m. today in the Fine Arts Theater.
This year's program will honor African Americans and their achievements throughout history.
African Americans have been integral to the formation of our country. To celebrate the achievements and contributions of African Americans, February has been named Black History Month in the United States. St. Joe commemorates this month each year by staging a Black History Month program. The annual production, this year led by Mr. Daniel Walker and Miss Kenya Ashby, premieres today from 2 to 3 p.m.
You know, in America, during the course of time, there's been disenfranchised of cultures. And one of the things that is why this is so important, back in 1901, a lot of black history was removed from the history books. Again, America at that point, there were some people did things out of ignorance. There were some people that protested against that, both blacks as well as whites. As it was removed from a part of American history, it left a void. After the years of going through the struggles, the 20s, the 30s, 40s, into the civil rights movement, and eventually it was recognized that the black history is American history.
The students in the program have been putting in long hours after school to prepare for their performance. The audience can expect a little more crowd participation this year. The production is based on the television show Wilding Out. The band will play songs by famous African American artists, and the performers will dance and sing. The event will definitely be exciting and memorable.
And I expect for the audience to learn a lot of stuff that they didn't know before. We practice Tuesdays, Wednesdays, some Thursdays, and we actually just had a Saturday practice, but practices are normally from about 3 o'clock to 4:15 or 4:30.
I know that all the students are excited to see what the performers have been working on for the past month. Parents and relatives are invited to attend, and I look forward to seeing it myself. I'm John Lamborghini, reporting for BNN.
Thanks, John. Every year, St. Joe students put together an impressive Black History program, and this year's production has the potential to be one of the best yet, and one you will not want to miss.
Another important event this week was the school-wide Ash Wednesday Mass in the Fine Arts Theater. Hundreds of students, faculty, staff, parents, and guests attended the annual Mass.
The St. Joe community received ashes during the Mass, signifying the start of the season of Lent. Ash Wednesday is a holy day of prayer, fasting, preparing as Christians look forward to the celebration of Easter.
Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of Lent, our 40-day journey. The ashes represent our turning away from sin, and the cross represents what we're turning toward.
The month of March begins Sunday, which means time is quickly running out for students to complete their required service hours. Middle school students must complete 20 hours of service, while high school students must complete 30 hours. All of them must be logged into X2 Vault by May 1st.
The purpose of doing service hours is really so students can put their faith into action and help other people in their community and really find the type of service that they love to do. A lot of people do a lot more service hours than is required just because they like doing it.
It's time for students to begin course selections for the 2020 to 2021 school year. Ms. Ann Piazza will visit 7th grade through 9th grade classes, and Mrs. Debbie Carrington will visit 10th and 11th grade classes to explain the process. Students will choose their courses this year online.
Third quarter is quickly coming to an end. It will end on March 6th, the day we get out for spring holidays, and fourth quarter is coming soon. Please remember that if you have grades that need to be pulled up, this is your last chance.
Bruinthon, St. Joe's biggest community fundraiser benefiting the Larry Madison Children's Hospital, is holding a Split the Pot raffle. Buy a ticket for $5, and if your name is called, you'll receive half the money collected. The rest will go to the hospital. The Bruinthon main event is set for Friday, May 1st from 4 p.m. until midnight. Don't miss out.
St. Joe will close for spring break after the last class on Friday, March 6th. The school will be closed Monday, March 9th through Friday, March 13th for spring break. Classes will resume at 7:55 a.m. Monday, March 16th, which also marks the start of the fourth and final academic quarter of the 2019 to 2020 school year.
So I'm really excited for spring break because my family and I are going on a cruise with a bunch of our friends, and I'm pretty sure the cruise is going to Cozumel, Belize, Costa Maya, and Honduras.
Coming up, St. Joe's newest sporting team begins practice.
BNN's John Bellotti has that and more in the Bruin News Now Sports Report coming up next.
Hello Bruin fans, I'm John Bellotti and this is the Bruin News Now Sports Report. Topping sports news this week is Bruin sailing. The team for the newest sport on campus started practice on Wednesday. While starting out as a mere interest of a small amount of students, the team had a large number of students sign up, many of whom are learning to sail for the first time. The first regatta, or group of races, will be announced soon. Among the team members is BNN's own Jack Clements, an avid sailor who actually has held classes for those wishing to learn the sport.
I had never done sailing before, and it's pretty cool to be on a boat in the reservoir, sailing around and meeting new people, and it's a new fun experience for me.
In Bruin baseball, the team played 2 games on Saturday, February 22nd, with a loss against Canton Academy and a comeback L handed to Jackson Academy. They were back in action on Tuesday, and the game moved to Germantown High School because poor weather left D.M. Howie Field in bad conditions. The Bruins were unfortunately defeated in that game. They had another game on Thursday, and they fought hard, defeating Seminary. The Bruins are up at bat again tonight at home against Yazoo County.
We were a little rough at first. We're working it out and working our faults out and playing together as a team now, and it's going to kick up, and I feel like we're going to have a good season. Spring break's approaching us, and I feel like it's going to be good. Y'all can come out and support us tonight at home against Yazoo County and tomorrow at Ridgeland.
In softball, the team opened the season Thursday with a road trip to Vicksburg for their first game under the guidance of new head coach Danielle Poe. The Lady Bruins won the game and will return to action at home tonight against Ridgeland.
My hopes for the team is that we come together and we play really hard, and all of our hard work that we've put into it pays off.
Bruin boys and girls basketball seasons both came to a close over the weekend, with both teams unfortunately losing in the playoffs. Even with the seasons ending a different way than desired, both teams had excellent seasons and are already looking forward toward next year.
We ended the season against Coahoma County. It was a tough loss, even though we lost by 20, but it's still good. You know, we have a young and improving team, but we got better as the season went on. And next season, we're just looking forward, getting better, stronger, faster, bigger.
Bruin track members continue to practice for the 2020 season. The track team was scheduled for its first meet on Saturday, but with a low number of participants, the Bruins will not participate. The Bruins likely will not participate in a meet before spring break. That's it for Bruin Sports. I'm John Bellotti, and I'll see you next week.
Hello Bruins, I'm Eddie McNabb with your weekend weather forecast. For the rest of today, look for a high of 58 with the wind from the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. The nighttime hours will be cool with a low of 38. On Saturday, look for sunny skies. The high will be 61 and the low will be 44. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of 66, and the night will have a low of 56. Showers creep back into the forecast with a 20% chance on Sunday. Next week, the week before spring break, will warm up and some showers will be possible. So stay dry, St. Joe. This is Ada McNabb with your Bruin weekend weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. Earlier in the show, we talked about St. Joe's trip to New Orleans, where the band, cheerleaders, and Spirit Steppers marched in the Crew of Toth Mardi Gras parade on Sunday.
The school's appearance marked the first time St. Joe's marched in a Mardi Gras parade in at least 30 years. The band, cheerleaders, and Spirit Steppers held fundraisers to cover travel costs.
It took a lot of planning on the part of students, as well as Mr. Ronnie Russell, the band director, Miss Rachel Cole, the cheer coach, and Miss Manuela Picarella, the Spirit Stepper coach. BNN's Hannah Deere was in New Orleans and filed this report.
This past Tuesday, February 25th, was Mardi Gras Day. People in New Orleans had been celebrating for several weeks, as they annually do, with the big New Orleans Mardi Gras celebration and parades.
In the early 1970s, St. Joe's band marched in the Mardi Gras parade for the first time. Nearly 50 years later, the Bruins marched once again, this year in the Crew of Toth parade that took place this past Sunday, February 23rd.
This was so much fun. It was a great experience. We were really blessed to have this opportunity, and as a senior, it was really fun, and it was a great life experience.
The band, Spirit Steppers, and cheerleaders rose early Sunday morning at 6 to board Klein Tours buses and head to New Orleans. Upon arrival, they were able to see a few floats go by and catch some beads before parading 7.5 miles down historic St. Charles Street and Magazine.
Here in New Orleans, Crew of Toth parade, having a blast. Saw some things we've never seen before. Heard some bands we've never heard before. You're hearing some of them now. Great time.
St. Joe was one of hundreds of schools that marched by hundreds of thousands of people to celebrate this holiday, marking the end of ordinary time and the start of the Lenten season. The Bruins marched for about 4.5 hours before finishing up around 5:30 p.m. on Poydras Street. They boarded the bus once again, stopped for dinner at Middendorf's, and finally arrived back at the school around 11 p.m.
The best part about this for me was seeing all the people and just looking at everyone and giving all my Mardi Gras, anything, a lot of my Mardi Gras stuff away, and just really the environment. It was an awesome experience marching in the Mardi Gras parade with my school, with the band, and I hope it's a tradition the band keeps up for many years to come. I'm Hannah Deere, reporting for BNN.
Thanks, Hannah. Sounds like our group had a great time.
Before we go, we wanted to remind you to tune in to the Friday edition of the Bruin Buzz Live on WJXC Jackson, Mississippi Catholic Radio. This week, my guest on the show will be Lori Collins, the swim coach at St. Joe. The show will air on WJXC Jackson at 5 p.m. on Friday and repeat Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. This show is also available as a podcast.
And remember to subscribe to the BNN YouTube channel, where you can find this and an archive of every edition of the student-produced, award-winning high school newscast since we began in December of 2015. I'm Emerson Irwin.
And I'm Jack Clements. So long, everybody. And now we'll leave you with more video from the Crew of Toth Parade in New Orleans.